Guitar Intervals Unleashed, where today we're going to go over minor arpeggios. So we're going to be using our NANDI-Chorders for this. If you're not super familiar with that, I'm going to throw a link to that up in the corner of the video here. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the minor arpeggios in all of the caged shapes, starting with C, going through A, G, E, and D, up the fretboard. The intervals most important to a minor arpeggio, or the intervals that make up a minor arpeggio, are the root, the flat third, and the fifth. So we're going to start in the C shape with that. And the easiest way to plot these is we're going to start with our fifths, because in the order of fourths, just before 1 is 5. So if you go one string below in terms of pitch, or to the left, if you're looking at the NANDI-Chorder, you're going to plot your 5. So below the roots in the C shape here, we're going to plot our fifths. So let's do that. All right, so when you plot your fifths, it's going to look like this. Remember, I added this fifth up here just because the E strings mirror each other, so whenever you plot one interval on one of them, just plot it on the other one too. So for the flat third, what we're going to do is we're going to plot our fourth on the D string here, just above our root from the A string, and then count down 2 half steps to get to our flat third. So there it is right there. There's our flat 3. So for every shape that we go through, there's going to be 2 of each interval in every shape. So all the caged shapes are going to have 2 roots, 2 thirds, and 2 fifths. So we're going to find the other flat third using the octave method. If you're not familiar with that, I'm going to put a link in the video and in the description to our octave video, which shows you a little trick to find octaves on other strings. But basically, if your string names are 2 letters apart, so B to D, so that's B, C, D, so they're not right next to each other in terms of names, there's a note in between them. From B to D, there's going to be 3 frets from here, from this flat third to the other flat third. So if you go up to the B string, we're also going to go up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, and there it is. There's our flat third right there. So let's plot that. And when you do that, you have all of the intervals necessary for a minor arpeggio in the C shape. It is a C minor arpeggio in the C shape. Moving on now to the A shape. We're going to do that same thing for the roots in the A shape. We're going to plot our fifth just below the root. All right, so there that is. I also plotted the fifth on the E string as we just did before. And then we're going to plot the fourth from here and get to our flat third. We're going to go 2 half steps down to get this flat third, and then we're going to do the octave method. So there is one flat third right there. Now the other flat third is going to be on the A string, and we're going to get that using the octave method that we just did before. But because the strings involved A and B are right next to each other, there's no note in between those in sequence. It's just going to be 2 frets up from this flat third. So if you go down to the A, you go up 2 frets, and there's going to be your flat third. So you just take this, go all the way down to A, go 1, 2, there's your flat 3 right there. All right, and there is a minor arpeggio in the A shape. So on our low E, it's the fifth. On the A, it's the root and the flat third. On the D, it's the fifth. On the G, it's the root. On the B, it's the flat third. And on the high E, it's the fifth. So 5, 1, flat 3, 5, 1, flat 3, 5. It's going to be a C minor arpeggio in the A shape. Alright, moving on to our G shape, we're going to plot the fifth below our root here and our root here. Alright, so that should look like this. Should have a fifth on the D and a fifth on the B. And then to get our minor third, we're going to plot a fourth here and then crawl down to get to our flat third. So there should be your flat third right there on your A string, and then we're going to use the octave method to find the other flat 3. So it's going to be on our G string. And between A and G, there's no note in between A and G, G to A in the musical alphabet. So we're going to go up to our G string and then up 2 frets. So it's going to be 2 frets away when the notes are next to each other, when the strings are next to each other. So flat 3, I don't know if I got to their flat 3. We're going to go up to the G string and then up 2 frets. So that's going to look like this. So in the G shape, you're going to have the root on the low E, flat third on the A string, fifth on the D string, root and flat third on the G string, fifth on the B string, and root on the high E string. So this is a C minor arpeggio in the G shape. E shape now. So that's going to be the E octaves and the D string here. So we're going to plot our fifth just below them. Okay, so when you plot your fifth, it should look like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to plot the fourth above this and crawl down to our flat 3. All right, so that should look like this with your flat 3 on the G string. So now we're going to use the octave method to find the other flat 3s in this shape. They are going to be on the E string or the E strings, and between G and E, so it goes E, F, G, they are not right next to each other in the musical alphabet, which means they're 3 frets. There's a 3 fret difference. So if we have our flat 3 here and then go up to our E string and go up 3 frets, we're going to find our flat third and then plot that also on the low E string. So then your full shape is going to look like this. You have a root and a flat third on the low E, the fifth on the A root on the D, a flat third on the G, a fifth on the B, and a root and flat third on the E. This is a C minor arpeggio in the E shape. Alright, so now we're moving on to the D shape. So the last 2 roots there, the root on the D string and the root on the B string, we're going to plot our fifth just below them. Alright, so there are your fifths right there. And then we're going to plot our flat third. We're going to go up from the B here and go to the high E and plot down. One thing I didn't mention is you might be wondering, well, how do I know which root to choose when I'm picking my first third? Or how do you know which one you're like, why are you picking that one? I'm always starting from the root that's closest to the 12th fret so that I have room to move backwards. So every single time, if you look throughout this video, every time we plotted the flat third, we always started from the root that was closer to the 12th fret. So we're going to plot our fourth on the high E and then work down to find our flat third. So when you do that, you're going to get a flat third there on your high E, and then I also just plotted it down on our low E because we know the E's mirror each other. And then we're going to use the octave method to find our last flat third, and that's going to be found on the D string. So we're going from E to D. That's only D and E are right next to each other in the musical alphabet, which means there's only going to be 2 fret difference. So let me see if I can do this right. We're on the flat third here. Let me get the glare up. We're on the flat third. We're going to go down to our D string and then up 2 frets. 1, 2. Oh, there it is on our 13th fret there. We're going to mark a flat third. And there's the minor arpeggio in a D shape. So on the low E you have a flat third, on the A string you have a fifth, on the D string you have a root and a flat third, on the G string you have a fifth, on the B string you have a root, and on the high E you have a flat third. There it is. Alright, well, we just plotted minor arpeggios in all 5 caged shapes. I went ahead and showed you here. This is like a full map of all of them. I believe I got all the intervals there. If you want to take a look at that, you could do all kinds of fun runs using this little map here. Alright, well, thanks for watching Guitar Intervals Unleashed. Please subscribe. Check out our other videos. We have another video on major arpeggios. We have all kinds of other videos, so check out all that stuff. Check out the NANDI-Method.com. Make sure to pick up the Guitar Intervals Unleashed on Amazon, which is like the NANDI Method Bible, basically. It's going to tell you everything there is to know about the NANDI Method. And pick up one of these, a NANDI-Chorder. It's going to be super helpful to you. If you're following along with these lessons, I'll put a link to that in the description.